How's it going, guys? Welcome back to the Q&A. Today we're joined with Mod Matt K.
Hola.
Mod Ghost.
Hello.
He's over there. He'll be here shortly.
Ghost, yeah.
That's good. Mod John C.
Hiya.
Mod Ash.
Hello.
And myself, Mod Archie. We're going to show you guys a sneak peek of the week. That's what it's called. They like viola. Yeah, we're going to be showing off Zenyte Jewellery. That is the last Monkey Madness 2 spoiler you will get to see, to the best of my knowledge. I can't believe this. Really?
Oh, yes,
Cool.
if we can get the models created in time. So I think the idea came from Reddit, of the Monkey Madness 2 reward being a monkey that sits on your backpack.
I know we were doing that.
That's quite cool, yeah.
Yeah, there's an NPC at Karamja, the banana plantation, that does it. So we've taken the idea, and hopefully we'll show you that next week.
So in the meantime, should we mime what's going on?
Yes.
Oh, they
Start.
can't hear us. We
I'm
sit
just
here
going to sit here
go,
and drink stuff.
Buy Diet Coke. Buy Diet Coke now.
I think speaking is not helping.
Buy Diet Coke.
Oh, we're good now?
Awesome.
Okay, apologies, guys. Right, let's get into the questions then. Where are we at? First question. Air Ultra asks, can we expect any new songs to come with Monkey Madness 2?
Yes, had an email conversation with the audio team today about those. I think we've got 3, maybe 4, but I'm not going to tell you what they do or where they are because spoilers.
What they do?
Also, what they're related to.
Yeah, just thinking.
They're audio tracks
Cool songs.
that they will play music, they won't do the hoovering or...
Follow-up question to that, actually, somebody asked, what is your personal favorite RuneScape song?
Theme tune, sorry.
The login
boring.
music.
It's got to be the
Yes,
theme
yeah,
song.
absolutely.
Ixagor the Thunderer from RS3.
Oh, Betrayal.
The heart likes what the heart likes.
I really like that one that came with Zaya. You know the one I'm talking about. I don't know the name of it.
Where's it played? In the Shazian area? The Militia was a very popular track.
I think that was it.
It's by Mod Bond from the audio team. He done very nicely there.
Indeed.
Personally, I preferred the one he did for the Hasidius area, the something to do with farming. I forget what he called it.
They're all great, they fit the area fantastic. I like the one, I think you wrote it for Zola, the second.
Oh yeah, I'm quite pleased with what I did for Zola.
Right. Next question then. Mr. Kamikaze asks, can you make it so you can gamble gold nuggets from Motherlode Mine for a chance at a pet? Being the rock golem pet, I'm going to assume.
Given that you can already get the pet from the Motherlode Mine when you're mining for the pay dirt in the first place, that would make it very much the best place to get the pet, I imagine.
Yeah, I'm hesitant about adding further ways to get the pets.
What we
that
do
already
have
exist.
is a new way of using the nuggets coming in today's poll. We offered a bag of assorted gems, I believe.
Exciting stuff. Speaking of which, there was a new poll today, as well as a few quality of life updates. Couple of nice updates in there. My personal favorite being you can no longer attack people in the safe zone in Deadman mode. We don't actually... Oh, I just realized we're not doing the on-screen questions. I can just throw this... Are we? Yeah. Okay, I can't see it on that screen. Oh, cool. All right, anyways, we actually don't have an on-screen image for this one, but I'm going to sneak this in here. Some people were asking, I wasn't able to squeeze it into the Q&A. If they're getting attacked from outside of the safe zone, they're asking if they could have the ability to fight back.
What happens now if they try and fight back?
You get a message saying you
have
can't
to leave
fight in
the
a safe zone.
Can we do something about that?
Yes.
Then yes.
Yes.
All right, I like that answer. Next question then. Stephanie asks, would it be possible to talk with friends/friends chat while in lobby? Could we have a search option in friends chat settings?
Well, that would require us to have a lobby before we could put chat in the lobby. If we got a lobby, then yes, these things would be possible. However, getting a lobby would be the initial sticking point.
I don't see us getting one anytime soon.
Of all the things we want from the engine team, that one's quite big, and I'd rather prioritise some of the other ones. Sorry.
Indeed, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I agree. A lobby would be nice, but it's
Yeah.
certainly not the top of the list.
Yeah.
Right. Abstergo asks, can the Kingdom of Miscellanea have a last checked feature to tell us how many days ago we last checked it?
That'd be very useful, wouldn't it? Interesting to know.
You know that code more than I do.
It knows the last time it tried updating itself. That's not necessarily the last time you went and looked at Grim's status.
No.
We might need some other way of tracking this one, but we could probably write one.
Yeah, I think it'd have to be a new feature, so once it's gone out, it'd start tracking from there rather than anything legacy.
Yeah. And yet for this, that probably matters less than most of the things we put tracking out for.
Right. I saw the image for that one. It's a cool little feature. Next question then. Potupson asks, Peking pets for bounty hunter / PvP worlds. Says, note, you must kill a target, and it is impossible to get a pet from someone you fight more than 5 times in 1 hour.
We've never had a very good way of tracking that kind of restriction, the people you've killed more than 5 times in 1 hour.
Yeah, I mean, as soon as you make something where you have to interact with another player to achieve something, then it becomes completely gameable, and there's very little, you know, we can put all sorts of checks in, but it will always be an arms race to find out who can game it better. In fact, we had for Zaya some ideas of player versus player sort of smuggling, so you had to bypass other players to get points to smuggle past them and sort of avoid them. Other players had to arrest the people who were smuggling stuff in, but because it was completely gameable, not mate, because it was completely gameable, we decided not to do that and use NPCs instead. But yeah, so gameable stuff. It's difficult.
You know, some people were complaining, saying, with all the hype for Deadman, the wilderness isn't looking too busy, but I disagree. I was just there earlier today, and it was looking fine. So. Yeah. I guess if you're going past Edgeville, maybe there's a difference, but...
It helps, of course, that the old school community is growing, so a lot of people are on Deadman mode, but there's a lot more people around than there used to be.
Absolutely, yeah, absolutely.
Which is lovely.
In fact, we are, being the players don't know this because we haven't told them yet, but we're the highest we've ever been in old school at the moment.
Yep. Best data ever.
Yeah, more members than we've ever had, which is you know, amazing and good.
Still
we're very excited and very proud of that. So I hope you're very proud of it too.
Yeah, a lot of that due to the tournament. Very happy with the result of that.
Yeah.
Of course, you guys pointed out, I mentioned this on last night's stream, there were a few things for us to improve on that are quite easy to improve on. Maybe some other things, maybe not so much, I don't know. But some immediate things that I know we can most certainly fix quite simply for the next tournament. If you guys want to follow up on that, read more, there's a news post, I believe, we did on the tournament.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Absolutely, yeah.
But yeah, congrats to You Never Learn. 10 grand, exciting stuff. It's really fun.
We do know that person's real name, right, to send the money to the right person, yeah?
We're getting in touch with them.
Yeah.
We've got in touch with them.
Send them a game
Good.
message.
We need to hear back from them, yeah. So yeah, no, it's, I mean, the terms and conditions all have all the stuff in about how we pay the money as well, so that's all in there, so it's all done properly.
Little did he know we were talking 10k GP.
That dollar sign is the universal sign for RuneScape Gold.
Dollar's quite strong at the moment too, so good time for it.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
Moving on. There's an image with this question. Limport asks, please fix the tan color on the music cape. It's game breaking. That was in caps lock. So you can't really see it from here. There's a tiny little thing under the neck that has a bit of tan.
Yeah.
Where on the right model it was black.
Okay. The tan's meant to be there. I'll fix it. So it's on both.
It's not quite inherited the player's skin colour or something, has it?
It's not. It was kind of like it had a slight gold on the shoulders, on the shoulder pads, and on the actual skill capes itself, like whatever's on the shoulder is kind of like on the front, just here. So it's kind of carries over.
Next they'll be asking us to fix that green pixel on.
Not going to happen.
On
On
construction.
the construction, yeah. We gotta leave that.
It's not broken, not fixing it.
All right, moving on. Falcon asks, could we get a warning for when a boss is about to respawn? An example being you would hear a bird screech, say 5 seconds before a Kriya spawns.
So that you're nicely panicking at the moment when the boss spawns.
Yes, so you're prepared.
I think we can do that.
It's kind of half the fun, isn't it? Getting surprised, like, ooh.
It has
And
to
you can
So you couldn't be able to surprise people as a J-mod anymore in there either, could you? And just so you turn on and watch everybody scatter.
yeah, for that reason alone, we shouldn't do this.
Oh, we just give them a thing on the potato that makes the noise. In fact, if we give him a thing on the potato that makes that bird screech noise, he can probably troll a lot more people everywhere else he goes.
There's a lot
It's been a while since
yeses
I've done
and nos. Would this be a fairly easy update? Or?
Not especially. I mean, the engine currently just spawns the monster. It doesn't have a warning that goes off a few cycles before the monster spawns.
Right.
So either we'd need to get that installed, or we'd program the boss when it spawns to hide itself immediately, play the sound, and then come back again 5 cycles later. That's probably how I'd go
That's one way
about
to
it.
do it, but slows down the kills a bit.
Yeah, yes. Then we reduce the respawn rate slightly so that they to speed the kills back up again.
I think the NPCs already hide themselves when they're at God Wars, don't they? The minions.
The minions do. The bosses, I think, are actually just spawning naturally like any other NPC. The minions, we tried to resolve the old problem from back in the really old days, where the minions would sometimes turn back into invisible. It was rare, but it could occasionally happen, and I gather occasionally it did happen, and we tried to write a solution where it would never happen for us.
All right. Next question. Where are we at here? Sam asks, can Deadman also get Clue Scroll Step Remembrance?
Well, it will have anything that's in the live game.
Why don't they?
I am not the one with the answer here.
Because generally, if there's a feature in the game, it applies to every version of the game.
That's what I thought. We recently just did
Unless it
something with
works
Sherlock.
off different game saves, but then it wouldn't work. We'd have to do something for Iron Man as well, because they're different game saves.
Bit of a puzzle, that one. We'll have to look into what the question's about.
Yeah.
Right. There's a follow-up to that, actually, saying Zaya has no financial wizards or safe zones, making it less useful in Deadman mode. Can this be changed?
Well, we could map down more as there. I think initially when we thought about it, it was a case of let's leave it as it is.
Yeah, we didn't want to fiddle with it because it was, a live season already.
Yeah.
Deadman wasn't too busy at that time either. Now it's,
that's true.
quite busy, yeah.
And there's a lot more on Zaya than there was when we first launched it. That
Yeah.
might be worth looking into.
Yeah.
I'd love to see some Dragon Warhammers in Zaya. Or sorry, in Deadman, rather.
I think there is one.
Yeah.
Already, really?
Yeah, I
Wow.
saw a post, I think, a couple of days ago.
Yes, yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
I suppose the Shading Encampment would make sense as a safe zone on Zaya, because it's got enough people who act like guards. In fact, if they decided to all go after you at the same time and you were near the drill squad, that would be really quite amusing.
Throw a financial wizard in there?
No.
No?
Stick one in.
We'll stick in the banks. I think we've got one major bank in every house.
Yep.
Oh, we'd have to get that'll be interesting, because we went for a kind of mage-looking NPC every time, and if we go and stick it in Arceus, then we need an even more mage-looking Arceus person. Maybe we can give them a double pointy hat or something.
I'll flip it on its head and just stick a human in there and just say, oh, they wouldn't accept me.
Give him an extra long beard.
Settle for
All the
life
way
as a
down to the
financial advisor.
Right.
And no clothes needed.
No. The wise old man's grandfather. Next question.
Wise, very old man.
Yeah. Drip says, what is the status on scaling UI with resizable?
I don't think Ian's made any progress over the last few weeks at all.
He's had to do that one in his spare time due
Yeah.
to the many calls on his working hours. And unfortunately, he hasn't had a huge amount of spare time just lately, because he's had to spend that doing work as well.
Yeah.
We have a meeting with him next week to discuss his next priorities. So we might bring it up then.
There's increasingly more engine questions every single week.
Yeah.
It's
Well,
unfortunate.
if else we try and do.
Yes, indeed. Indeed.
Right. Chief Iron says, thoughts on adding a Desert God Wars?
We have been thinking about that.
Yeah, RuneScape just launched God Wars 2, which is in the heart of the Lunar access from the desert, which is probably why this question's come up. And I would like some more God Wars related stuff, but let's not copy paste.
No.
There was a follow-up. Sorry, there was a follow-up asking if we're aiming to mimic their God Wars 2, or if
Not
we're going to go
no,
on our own
no.
path.
No,
Yeah.
there's no mileage in giving them a non EOC version of something that they've already seen in another game. What we can do, though, is
Ultra boss.
create another dungeon a bit like God Wars. After all, there's a lot of mechanics in there that's really quite good and quite reusable in different ways. So I think it was something we were talking about, or maybe it was Kieran.
It might have been Kieran, but I was actually thinking about this about 3 hours ago, and I don't remember speaking to anyone about it, which is why I'm a little bit freaked out. But I,
Oh, right.
I often say things and forget I say them. So
Well, at the time we were just talking about how the mechanic of having to different bosses where you would go with a team. It's been a while since we did anything for team-based bossing.
Yeah.
The wilderness doesn't really count, and the requirement to get into the rooms, the fact that there's NPCs fighting each other all over the rest of it is quite fun, especially if they do come after you as well. We don't have to tie it to the original God Wars dungeon. We can use similar mechanics for a new dungeon with different bosses anywhere else. And the thing I like about the desert is it might give us a use for Menethos.
oh yeah, we did have
Agreed.
that conversation.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was tied to Menethos. Although I think we just put it there for the lols. There wasn't actually anything to do with Menopause or this related storyline.
Well, it's partly we've always wanted to do something with Menopause, and since quests be quite a big job, and the likelihood that we'd want to do something with Zaya in terms of lore, we thought it might be a very long time before we were ever doing an actual quest around Menopause. So developing it in different ways had some mileage.
That being said, a kind of cool idea just came in from the chat there saying Zaya house bosses. Give each house a different boss, and there you have it.
So you get a really, really big dwarf for the Lover King house.
Yes, that sounds great.
So human.
Or it could be a really, really little one that you can't hit, and so if you do lots of damage to you, you try and catch it.
He's really
whack-a-mole.
I think it'd be great if he had this massive sort of like hydraulic suit that made him really huge, but it's just like a tiny little Robotnik style dwarf sat in it.
What if at the end you have to fight, the statue comes to life? Right?
Really?
It just comes out and
we
he's
go
just,
in there, Chris, because
Yeah.
that statue would be very complicated to make come to life.
Sounds like fun.
I'm sure we can manage it.
Maybe when it does, it could transmogrify itself into something simpler.
Yeah, possibly. It just reminds me of Ghostbusters 2, to be honest. If that thing was walking around the place.
Oh, that.
Yes, that.
It's a great
Sadly.
film.
Yeah.
I love Ghostbusters.
I only liked the villain in it, but anyway.
All right.
You ever seen
let's-
Ghostbusters, Chris?
It's
Yes,
Ghostbusters
but it's
2,
been
it's
so
not very
long
good.
that there's no way I remember anything from it.
I have a word in the chat if you like Ghostbusters, please. Thank you very much.
Are we clear in the chat?
Sure.
Is it a 1 in the chat?
One in the chat if,
One in
you,
the chat.
if you like Ghostbusters. I'll
There
tell
we
you what,
go.
even better, all right? 1 if you prefer Ghostbusters 1 to 2, and 2 if you prefer Ghostbusters 2.
I've seen someone talk about marshmallows, so I think they're talking about the first one rather than the second.
Yeah. Everyone prefers the first one.
Yeah.
Right. Sorry, to answer the question though, we do like the idea of introducing new bosses, similar to like the God Wars idea, but we wouldn't make exactly what they've just done with God Wars 2.
3 if you like the cartoon more than the films.
All right.
4 if you're hyped about the new Ghostbusters movie that's being made.
Is there a new one?
No,
Yeah,
no,
there's-
nobody's
Last one
hyped
with
for that
women
movie.
Ghostbusters, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah, okay, I remember.
You've seen the reviews of that so far?
I
Like,
saw it and
nobody.
just thought, thank God they've gone a completely different direction and not tried to recreate the past, actually.
Yeah.
So it's nice.
It's got like 90% dislikes.
Wow.
Really?
All right,
That's
moving
a shame.
on. We are very off topic. Apologies. Next question.
Let's get the ordinary there.
Sue asks, when do we get to see the next dev blog for Zaya Batch 2?
A few months away yet now. We've rejigged our schedule a bit. Zaya Batch 2 will be raids, and it should be late summer / September kind of time. So there'll be dev blog throughout the summer talking about it, but nothing before then really.
Cool. Tara asks, could a reward be added to the Lumbridge Lumbridge and Draenor Elite Diary, which allows you to choose which skill you want the XP from in the Tears of Guthix minigame?
That's rather overpowered.
That's not very Gothixian.
It kind of like, I'm sure some people can relate, but there was a certain skill, I think it was Hunter for me, that I never trained. And I only used XP lamps, and I got it to like 60 or something. This is kind of what would happen here, is you would have that skill maybe that you don't want to train, and you would never have to train it, and you could get 99.
I think we just move it on to defense all the time.
There's actually a follow-up to that, so I'm not too fond of that idea, but there's a follow-up question to that saying, can the Tears of Guthix be more responsive to clicks? He says it's quite slow to respond.
What's going on there is that when you click to move away from something, the game says, all right, let's stand you up, delay while you're doing it, let's turn you sideways, delay while you're doing it, now off you go. Which means a lot of the time the game is busy executing these animations and ignoring anything you click. Now I had to think about ways I might be able to replace those delays with something that still lets the game respond to you. So if you change your mind halfway through, you aren't forced to carry on leaning forward before you can decide to lean back again. I never really found anything that was going to work without breaking it in other ways, but I'm glad there's interest in this at least.
We could take the other approach and ever so slightly reduce the rate at which the walls change colour and location.
Or we could try, although since it's pretty random in there, I wouldn't want to guarantee it had really done it by like 10% or 15%.
Something to explore.
Yeah, certainly making the game feel more responsive is generally a positive thing.
Yeah, they appreciated what you did with the Magic Training Arena.
Oh, the telegraph room.
Yes, that one.
Yeah, it's a little easier there.
Got rid of a lot of code in there. It's a lot simpler now.
Next question then. G says, can the Bone Crusher work on the big bone drops from blood builds?
It could be made to do so. Obviously, we shouldn't just do it to blood velds. We should do it to anything that drops bones in addition to its own bones.
Yeah.
Which involves trawling all drop tables. There are several hundred of them to find all the ones that have anything that might be affected by a bone crusher. So yeah, we could do it. It's not necessarily something we were looking to spend that much dev time on for the relatively few cases where it's a benefit. But yeah, we certainly can.
Yeah. To those wondering, this has come up actually a few times, and it's been answered a few times as well. Those additional bones obviously didn't belong to the monster. They're kind of its drop, so that's why that doesn't work there. So.
It's roughly how the Bone Crusher was introduced back when it was first created in, what, 2010 or thereabouts?
Yeah.
It crushed the bones of the monster, and broadly speaking, other bones that monster dropped would be left alone. So we went with that version rather than whatever RS3 later introduced as a buff for it. But we can change it. Just takes a while if we don't want to miss any.
Chat spamming about the PID update.
Yep, poll 39, and I'm optimistic that Ian can give it to us in the next week or so.
Yeah,
Ooh.
his schedule's now clear, so we can jump back on that.
Right, exciting. Looking forward to that one. Jay says, can we please have the option to disable staking on our accounts?
You see, I've got two issues with this. Okay, first one is we're not your mum. If you want to
That's the best answer.
moderate your own online gaming, you probably should do it yourself. B, it will create a whole nightmare for everybody who wants to permanently turn it off and then change their mind.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
hijacked accounts, which is exactly what we've got with permanent Iron Men at the moment. So, no, would be my answer to that.
I want that on a t-shirt. We're not your mum.
And if you thought we were, good luck to you. Good luck to your dad.
Next question. Slimy asks, can we have a spell added to Lunars or wherever you think seems fit that would mimic superheat orb but with logs? You would click on a log in your inventory after casting a spell. It would take from the first to last spot one cast per log.
So this is like the I'm a tinderbox spell.
Given that it would be just as much clicking, I wouldn't give it any more fire-making XP. You could attach a little magic XP to the spell.
I mean, you throw a nature rune cost there. It's relatively expensive. Obviously, you're burning fire making. There's no profit being made.
I can see it being used about as much as rapids.
It'd be nice because you're kind of bank standing, right? So you don't have to go through the tedious walking through.
We wouldn't necessarily encourage people to light fires in places where they currently can't light fires. After all, fires are disabled in banks not just to stop fire making being too easy or to make walking useful, but to avoid people filling the bank with fire and getting in the way of people trying to use the bank.
Of course, we could have it almost like a high alpha spell where the log goes in the air and then bursts into flames using magic, so you're not using it on the floor.
That's what I was thinking is like an animation, like the superheat spell. If something happens above your head, you throw the log up there, you throw a fire burst at it or something, fire bolt rather, and there you have it.
So this would be to save you from having to walk outside the bank and use a tinderbox.
Yes,
pretty much.
for the lazy yet rich, and also want magic XP. I like it.
It's a nice idea. It just feels a bit meh.
See, I think the solution for fire making should be about making fire making have a purpose or a much better purpose and a reason to do it, rather than making it easier to do. Would be my solution to fire making.
Could do this on the go as well. I don't know. I
The
like
thing
this
is, you
idea.
really can do it on the go without needing to have any runes.
It's true.
With the rune pouch in the game, we don't need to worry about multiple slots being used by runes necessarily. But at the moment, a tinderbox is one slot. Some runes is also one slot if you got it in the pouch.
So, multiple people have mentioned bonfires. What did they offer as a bonus to doing bonfires?
FK ability.
Because you just click once, it burns your entire invent.
So it was a case of just getting the XP easier rather than actually having a purpose for.
Yeah, I mean, I think it gave you a 5% boost to your maximum hit points, and
Yeah.
every now and then Fire Spirit spawned, but gave you some charms, some coins, but they're peripheral things that weren't the main draw of Bonfires.
Yeah, so that's the reason why Bonfires probably won't work.
I've actually had people contact me in a bit of a flappy panic saying, but we heard there was someone talking about Bonfires. Please confirm it will never, ever, ever happen because we don't want to even hear it's being talked about by people not. Guess they don't like Bonfires very much.
I do like when that comes out. There's a whole bunch of rumors saying like, we heard you were doing this. Like, we never said that. Some player said that and you believed it. There you go. Let's move on though. There we are. Purple says, is the Tithe farming minigame not supposed to give experience in Deadman mode? I'm getting nothing from it.
It should be giving experience in Deadman mode.
If it's instance,
Instance training generally doesn't.
Yes. So, you're not supposed to get experience.
But you get your favour if you still need it at that point.
Yeah.
I forgot we instance though.
And you get your reward points if you want to get the other rewards from it.
Bonfired his ears. That's what it says.
Right. Next question then. Spencer says, make bone bolts fletchable by using a chisel on bones. Makes sense.
They're trying to bankrupt the trader that's selling them in the Dorkshire mines.
It's
It's got a
dangerous
family
in
to
there.
feed,
It's dangerous
kids
in
to
there in
send to
Deadman.
school. Yeah, we could do that.
Yeah. I like that idea. There we go. Pineapple says, can we get a two-handed axe that we can use to cut down trees like the one in the woodcutting emote as a very rare drop from Ents? 75 woodcutting to use.
So new axe with new emote. Actually, quite complex with a separate emote.
Not too bad actually. Every axe already has a separate animation.
Okay, different axe.
Yeah, that's
not
right.
just recolours.
So we could do the code side of it. We just have to make sure that people were okay with whatever advantage this better axe was giving you
Looked
for its
super
high
cool.
level.
I've always felt you should be able to chop a tree if you have an axe. Like Darok's axe should be able to chop a tree.
You would think.
You see, now I always I like my medieval
He's going to
warfare
science the shit
history,
out of it.
and you'll find that there are different sorts of axes. So one isn't a battle axe isn't very good at chopping wood, and you'll find that the
But you
battle
can
axe
still do
was-
it.
It can
Just
do
not
it,
very
but
well.
but the problem is you'll destroy the axe in the process, which is why you don't use a battle axe to chop wood. Wood cutting axe and a battle axe are very different things.
That'd be awesome. You accidentally click on a tree while wielding Durocs and it destroys your Durocs.
Yeah.
I'm thinking, I agree with the chat here. 1 hit points Darox, you should hit the tree 1 hit. Done.
But you lose your axe in the process.
Yes,
Ah.
you actually grades to nothing. You have to get a repair.
And then you get the RNG of it being a tree that only gave 1 log. Next question, that's not going to happen, sorry. Chad says, can we do something about Zolander teleports? When Zola first came out, they were too common. Now they're almost 25k each and far too rare.
No, see, we had a discussion about this between us at the start of this week as well. 25k is a small price to pay for the convenience of saving yourself up to 90 seconds. Each drop is worth roughly 100k, so no.
Yeah, that's pretty much what I thought.
Yeah.
And how many million did we find was still in the game?
Around, I think it was 11 million a couple of weeks ago. Or was that the starting thing? Basically, from the point we nerfed it, there's now half the amount in game, and it's still like the most collected non-coin item there is.
Yeah.
So
Right. Here we are. Real Crescent says, can you add a few more low-level fishing and mining content areas in Zaya? Asking specifically for like copper and tin or like low.
there's no reason why
Probably
not.
got some spacing for
Spread
it.
them across the world till the cows come home.
Yeah.
Yep. With fishing, it just requires there to be space to space along a nice flat bit of coastline as well.
Yeah.
I think we had to flatten some coastline when we were adding the anglerfish spots because the whole thing was very crinkle cut.
Yeah.
But we can totally find a place to put some.
There's definitely some space on the southern coastline, isn't there? There's practically
Yes.
nothing along there. So
No,
I was
indeed.
planning on adding some actually before the launch, but it was about 2 o'clock in the morning on the Wednesday, and we launched on the Thursday. I was like, I'm going home.
It's fair enough.
Moving
Not
on.
lazy.
I don't care. I hadn't slept for like 3 days.
Bye says, you're going to like this one. Can wearing the Runecrafting skill cape allow the mage north of Edgeville to teleport you into the center of the abyss rather than the outer ring? Who's Runecrafting after they've already gotten the cape? Not many people, I can imagine. It's a good money
There's
maker
not
still, I
many,
guess.
but that is a rather powerful perk. That's
That would
gonna,
speed things up.
yeah, and runecrafting's a very sort of tight knit.
Unless you could only use that ability once every, so often.
Even then, it becomes rather redundant. I really don't want to fiddle with runecraft rates, and I'd be very surprised if that passed a poll, if I'm honest.
Indeed.
A lot of no's coming in there.
Yeah.
All right. Tasty says, fix the name glitch, please.
Sorry today.
I hope we did that this morning.
There you go. Tasty. Zebra? But you guys say zebra.
We do.
Yeah,
But not very
I'm
often.
going to say zebra. What do you think about adding some more thieving shortcuts into the game? So by thieving shortcuts, he's saying he's saying there's too many agility shortcuts. He's saying like a locked gate, for example.
Yeah, like the one that's underneath your Neil.
Yeah.
Just take you into the dungeon, yeah. Like that.
We can get a couple of those in.
Yep.
That's a cool idea.
Send in some suggestions for locations.
There's already so many shortcuts, even more today. Yeah. If you can think of any, that'd help. Next question. Vipe says, even at peak times, each seasonal Deadman world has now less than 600 players. Can we get some total level worlds back, please?
So again, I gave you them back today.
There you go.
I didn't take away any Deadman worlds, because 600 is still a lot of people all competing for the same resources.
Yep.
But I'll keep looking at it week on week, and if the numbers do continue to fall at the same sort of rates, we'll take them down as necessary. But World 361 and 366 are once again 2,000 and 1,500 total worlds, respectively.
You know, we thought that 6 Deadman seasonal worlds would be enough when we opened the seasonal at Saturday evening.
It filled up instantly.
Yeah, like 2,000 players on all of them. So yeah, we grabbed a couple more and made them seasonal as well, and just about let people log in.
Yeah.
We look forward to be able to put some of that back again, of course, as seasonal settles.
Yeah, I mean, the first time we did Deadman, we started with 3 servers, didn't we? And that filled up instantly.
Yep.
And we ended up with 6, and we thought, right, 6 will be enough for this time round. That'll be fine. But no.
Yeah, it's not a bad problem to have.
Absolutely.
Next question then. Actually, we're just past the 5:32 mark. 2 minutes past where I wanted
Is
to
that
be.
me? Is
Yeah,
that my
do you
mark?
want
Your
to
big
head over?
moment.
We'll ask a question in transition. Actually, no, we've got a video transition.
Okay.
Yeah, we do. Should we play that now? Gareth made this video just heart and soul into it.
You'll regret that one.
I love that graphic.
You will regret that one.
It's very minimalist.
There we go, we're visible. So we've been making some new jewellery today for the Monkey Madness 2 quest. So let's see what we have here. This is your equipment slot. The inventory icons, since I brought the computer downstairs, appear to have glitched. So unfortunately the wrong model is in the wrong place, but it's still in whip at the moment. So we can have a look at the necklace just here. It's based around the Berserker necklace, and we've just added some Zenyte jewels into it. You can see it's got a little bit of a fiery glow just there as well. We've chosen onyx for the necklace because orange contrasts very well against the dark colours, and when used against a yellow it was, you know, quite not very visible. For example, you can see just how these oranges and the yellows sort of blend into one another a lot more. We've also done the same for the bracelet just here. So we've got an onyx bracelet with a Zenyte jewel in it, and as well as that we've got a ring down here that you can see too. So it's a Zenyte ring. And we've also got a necklace, so you can see the inventory icons are messed up a little bit, but if we swap that necklace out, it's kind of like an Amulet of Fury, but now it's got the Zenyte jewel added into it. So the whole point of this is to make sure that, because Monkey Madness 2 is very much part of the past with RuneScape 2007, we wanted to make things that aren't too flashy and overcomplicated, but just simply add a little bit of a new touch to old items. That is all. Thank you.
Tell you what, that Diet Coke was really refreshing.
But is it as energizing
I found
as
it
this
energising
Lucasade?
and-
Tea, Earl Grey, hot.
I just expected a replicator to make a noise in the background.
That would be nice if I could get tea that way.
I wish we had a studio audience, kind of. We could just press play, like, yay.
It would be good.
Applause.
Canned laughter.
Are you
Let's
switching
try it for
microphones?
next week, canned laughter.
Yeah.
I think the last thing we need is more real people sitting in the room looking at us.
Samadghost actually had a good explanation for his reasoning why he decided to design it like that.
Did the microphone glitch out whilst I was talking?
I couldn't hear it, so
No, okay.
I hope not.
They heard,
I
okay,
think
that's
you're
fine
good,
then.
yeah. you said you could have designed something new and different, but you wanted to keep things.
That's it. When people come to play the quest, the art style for the quest will be very much set in the past, just because it needs to feel like it's part of the saga that was like Monkey Madness in the first place. So we don't want to make things overcomplicated, because sometimes people feel that can look out of place. And in this instance, I believe it would. So I'd definitely like to go for the more retro feel with our graphics.
I was confident in saying that the Fury is probably the most, or one of the most iconic amulets in the game. Easily recognizable. Everybody respects the Fury. If you have a Fury, you were at least pretty good at the game. So yeah, it looks cool too. Can't go wrong. Let's see. Somebody's very happy out there.
Yeah.
I wonder if the mic can pick that up. Probably not.
I don't know what's going on in our workplace. I hope you have one as exciting as ours.
Moving on. Where are we at here? Let's see. Wumbo asks, can we have a way to use the Dark Mage to teleport us to the well where Iban's staff is recharged? Can be used as a money sink too.
Well, he seems willing to do stuff for money. You give him quite a lot of money to overcome his fear of doing stuff with Zamorak and Iban's power. So I have no problem with him taking yet more money to save you to teleport you around the dungeon.
Yeah, it's easy enough to do as well. So sure.
I believe this player was saying 20 to 50k. That seems quite a bit. What did you say?
Well, he charged you 200k just to recharge your staff.
Yeah.
So I'd say 20 to 50k was about right.
His house should look a lot more mint than it does.
Indeed, yes.
Like the wise old man's house has bling everywhere from his little excursion to the local bank. This guy, on the other hand, should be able to just carpet his floor with all the gold pieces.
Maybe we should just have a rug on there, and you just have to examine info of, I wonder what's underneath this rug, or something along those lines.
Or we could give him a blue shield.
Yes.
I think he just invests it all.
Yeah, it could be.
He's the one hoarding Zola's Landry teleports.
It's not that there's very much in the shops around his neighbourhood either, though.
True. No, and the currency's not gold, it's cats.
Yes.
It's true. Next question. DIY asks, can you allow Iron Men to be able to do the fishing trawler minigame? He says, I know this has been discussed before, but instead of making it instanced, why not just let them do it with everybody in the group and make the rewards unclaimable apart from the fishing outfit?
That makes sense.
Different
Yeah.
enough
Compromise.
that...
Yep.
Yeah.
And we can do the tech of it, which we would not otherwise have been able to do if he said he wanted it instant.
Yes.
Or she.
I see a nice comment in the chat saying nice Seren hat. I think they're available on the merch store.
Link is on the main website, oldschool.runescape.com.
Yep.
These aren't. You have to work here to get one of these.
Yes. This one you have to buy from Mountain Warehouse.
Oh, like these? Yes.
These, I have no idea where these shoes came from.
I can't remember where I got this from.
We're just selling everything we're using on stream today.
But you can't have my mug.
Right.
You can't buy them either, can you? We were looking for one,
Yes.
weren't we?
Kun Recon Company seems to have stopped doing these.
Yeah.
All right, next question.
It's a discontinued item.
Oh wow, it's a rare, isn't it? Yeah. Real life rare.
Yeah, real life rare.
There you go.
I got one of those. I got the olden, the words aren't working today. I got the only golden Chinchompa plushie.
Oh, yes, you got that, didn't you?
Oh, is that what they did with it? Okay.
Do they know that's what they did with it?
I didn't just take it.
I couldn't see a use for it myself.
Do you think we could find the blueprints for the mug somewhere and have it recreated?
I think there's a market for it now, isn't there? So
Yeah.
Morash's mug.
All right, let's go to the next question. Least You Try says, would we be able to see an Iron Man Deadman tournament? So his reason for asking this is, and he asks for a 10 times XP rates, as was the previous tournament. Increased drop rates from bosses. That was something we discussed but didn't implement. And he says, basically this would combat clans and transferring wealth.
Yeah,
You can't trade.
what would happen on death? What would happen to your stuff on death? You just lose stuff, or nobody picks it up, or
Nobody picks it up, it disappears. It's gone.
because then it takes the reason out of trying to kill somebody.
Very true.
Mind you, you've got the competitive edge, which is if you kill people, they're no longer a competition. But then that's not going to be an issue
That's
until
not
right at
going
the
to be
very end
enough.
anyway.
I wouldn't PK personally.
Yeah.
I'm not going to get his stuff.
So I think
You say that, but temptation is a terrible thing. You'll see someone walking around in like full third age, and you're like, "Well, I'm just going to kill you."
Yeah.
Especially with you guys, RuneScape players. You see someone and you just want to ruin their day. It's just the way RuneScape works.
yeah. What might be a better option is rather than having a Iron Man Deadman tournament, have an Iron Man tournament in itself with increased XP rates without the PvP. I mean,
a
the
lot of
monster
tournaments.
drops is an issue, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Ash?
The CM team suggests that we could collect heads.
You can collect heads. Yes. Yes. That's not weird at all.
But you can't turn those heads into like supplies.
I think the idea was
to
that we.
continue your journey.
I think the idea was that you got glory or points, or you won because you had collected the most heads, perhaps.
Yeah. So the issue with that again
Farmable.
would be, it's farmable. Effectively.
It definitely solves a couple problems, but it creates a couple bigger problems.
Yes,
Yeah.
it's about as good as using blood money as the thing that you're
exactly.
collecting.
Now we went to an interesting conference the other day, didn't we, at ESL, and one of the things they were quite big talking about was about the integrity of esports, and that sort of thing is what makes it very difficult. So that's why anything new would be quite difficult.
Yeah,
But I think it all depends what the Ironmen want. If the Ironmen want a tournament with increased XP and the person with the most XP gets it, then that might be a way to go for that.
I don't think it'd be half as popular personally. Like, I myself would definitely compete in this tournament if I could have, but as an Ironman, it's not my personal cup
I think
of tea.
it'd be an interesting spectacle. It wouldn't be as popular as the standard Deadman season.
Fun to watch.
We could have Ironmen, it's all Ironmen up until the last hour where it suddenly becomes PvP and you all have to fight each other, so you all have to work as an Ironman to get your levels up, and then the PvP kicks in for the last hour with permadeath, and then they all have their fight.
It's getting complicated.
One of the suggestions that we bandied around when we were designing Deadman in the first place was the idea that when you got XP, it didn't count as XP immediately. It was in the form of virtual tokens, which you had to get back to a bank before it became XP on your account. And if someone killed you, they got most of your tokens. So you could effectively kill people for the XP they'd gained and gain the XP they'd gained.
See, that might be
That's
the way around
interesting.
it, wouldn't it? That would probably encourage people to PK, even if they didn't get the items, they got the XP instead.
Yes.
I
Again,
think
you have to
there
watch
could be
out for
more to
farmable.
this, for sure. All right.
It's worth having to think about, certainly.
Yeah, let's hang on to that one. Next question then. Rombass asks, can we have another option for range boots? He says, currently the best in slot item is only from Clue Scrolls, and then Cerberus. And the next best item is the snakeskin boots. He's asking for an in-between. Now, some people were suggesting crocodile leather.
Yep.
Yeah, that'll make crocodile.
Crocs.
Yep.
Yeah, Crocs.
Crocs.
And a use for those crocodiles in the desert, of
Yeah.
course.
I might be about to say something very stupid here.
That's it,
Cool.
move that.
I'll do
Yeah.
it.
I'm going to say Armadillo boots, just because I want that bug fix that people keep messaging me
That's
about
not
with the
that
render
stupid.
ordering.
We've got Bando's boots.
Yeah, I think it would be cool just to break up the item so that we don't have that bug anymore.
It's possible. Thing is, there's of the stats they're going to have. There's only so much space in between those three items, and there being three items is actually not too bad. Magic's the same, and so is melee. You've got Bando's dragon, and Primordial Magic is basically just Wizard, Infinity, and Eternal. But just so Gareth can fix this bug, I'm perfectly happy for Armadillo boots to be.
Are we really going to do this?
I don't think that'd be a terrible idea, really. The thing is, they'd have to be worse. Would they have to be worse than the Ranger boots?
Ranger boots, no, because the Armadillo boots would have 65 defense attached to them. So
Okay.
Ranger boots would be fine, plus they're still required to make...
So it's not directly in the
Against
middle. I was kind of hoping for like a 40 defense, 40 range requirement, somewhere in the middle. Kind of like Rune boots equivalent.
I'd say snakeskin with a rune boots equivalent
Yeah?
already. Rangers are the pure requirement, the pure best in slot.
What do you think about straw pulling this?
Yeah, why not?
Why not?
Straw poll. Should Armadillo boots be a thing?
What do you guys think about Armadillo boots? Have your say. There'll be a straw poll in the chat momentarily. Armadillo boots, yes or no? Pretty much. They would come from Armadillo.
We could compromise and do just the left boot.
Then Iron Man could complain about getting 30 left boots and no right boots.
Like with those key halves.
Yeah.
I'm not sure they're always balanced, the way they've been added to drop tables.
They're
know
not.
what?
There, I think it's you have it's 21 to 20.
Yeah, there is one of those, yeah. And I think there's something even weirder on Gorax.
Yeah, Gorax have got really weird table. 'Cause it's just gems, isn't it?
Something of the sort, yeah. They drop gems a heck of a lot.
Right, so that poll is now in chat for you guys. We're going to get the results back momentarily. Make sure your say is heard, I guess.
It has
And-
my support if I could vote.
Yeah? You know what? You said this might be a dumb question, but it's getting a lot of support so far. So
You brought it
They
up
like it.
I think about a year ago that you wanted to do it, and we was like, we don't really have the space. It's close.
73%. Yeah.
You can do it. Come on.
They're
Just
voting
a few
blinds.
more
They
percent.
don't know the stats.
Keep going. Keep going.
I think they need some more of that. It's working. They're at 74% now.
What can you make them do next?
Okay. Over 1,500 votes, 1,600 votes on that. We appreciate your cooperation there. There's obviously room for something there. Yeah, I like that idea. That's cool. Right. Let's move on to some suggestions, and then if we have time, we'll do some quick fire with the remaining questions. So, first suggestion, if I can open this. Uncle Conway says, a low-level total world for Deadman mode. A world for players under a certain total level could only access.
I can see why they would like that, but
You could still very well PK in there.
I think it takes away from the pure punishment that Deadman should have you experience.
I don't know.
Pure punishment.
People go do all their skilling in the low-level world and then go and get their combat stats in the high-level worlds when they've done it. So it's just
It's not exactly safety though, because there are a lot of low-level teams PKing and PKers and all that, right? You're still at risk. Just at risk of people similar level to you. I don't think it's a bad idea, really.
It's an interesting concept,
I'm not convinced.
but I like just how hard Deadman is, and you have to think about everything. You can't just say, I'm going to go do Monkey Madness and go and do it. You have to think, well, what if there's 50 people in that jail cell about to pirate
Right.
me?
When you level up in a game that's about leveling up, it should never be a bad thing that restricts you.
That too.
Now, there are advantages to keeping your combat level low or by avoiding certain stats, but where you get those advantages, they should be balanced by the thing that you're missing out on, such as the ability to wear high-end armour or the ability to, get certain quest rewards. So we should be kind of careful before making it even more advantageous to keep your stats low and avoid doing any of these skilling things around the game or training in a certain skill.
I agree there, actually. With Deadman as popular as it is, it might be a little risky trying to throw in weird curveballs like that too, so you never know. It is in fact at 75% for Armored Boots.
It's a
There
lot
you
of
go.
votes. We don't usually get that
Get
many
working
votes.
It's
on those.
because it's a good idea.
Yeah. It's got to be
Must be
actually
quite
cool.
high for that.
Next suggestion then, sorry. Lore Master asks, can we see some sort of smithing update where you can recycle equipment for shards, chunks, splinters of the metal it's made of? These can be smelted down into bars and would give that back less metal than the requirement to make that equipment.
What that would do to the market for the bars in the first place doesn't really bear thinking about.
No, indeed.
Yeah, but saying that, I don't think they would actually change price too much because
Yeah.
the alch values of the armors are usually what dictate the price of the bars that create
Yeah.
them. And I'm pretty sure that almost all of them are at floor value already.
Would it,
Okay, so
would
we'd be
it
able to do it.
impact the demand of them though?
Potentially.
If you can keep your eye. I know that several other online games have got a very similar thing. It means, one of the ones I play, it means I don't have to worry about getting mining so much to get my levels up.
It's true.
Which again is another impact if you don't have to worry about mining quite so much in order and just recycle your bars to get your smithing up. It makes smithing somewhat easier.
Yeah.
If you made it a chance so that it was never 100%, you always would be better off just alching it in terms of getting your value back. That might offset it, and it would just have some sort of niche benefits, like Iron Men would benefit massively.
Yeah.
I think it could be balanced to a point where it's viable, but without all that data in front of me, I couldn't commit to anything.
I think the suggestion actually did go ahead and say add a chance, but a lot of the chat was saying invention, and a lot of them kind of saying like that just doesn't sound like old school, which
Yeah, that's fair.
you can see that. All right. Next suggestion has an image. So Fuzzball asks, get rid of the combat disruption when you try to spec without energy. So if you don't have enough energy and you try to spec, say you have 20% energy, you spec with a DDS, you kind of sit there for an awkward minute,
Yep.
and then you finally go in for the poke. He says, just let us go in for the poke. That's what he's saying.
Giggity.
No comment.
I think I know how I'd go about doing that.
Please do.
Really didn't need an image for this one, but Just for anybody
What's
who
the picture
wasn't
of?
following. He didn't have spec left, or he didn't have enough spec to do a DDS spec, I think.
Right.
So he wanted to go into the poke earlier.
Yeah. Thanks.
Moving on.
I really like that. I really hope we follow up with that one.
There seems to be mixed views,
Yeah.
although what they're saying yes to might be not about the game.
All right. Next suggestion then. Stargen says. Are you okay?
Yeah, that's a horrible thing, but never mind. I'll tell you afterwards.
His
Oh,
suggestion,
Lordy.
he says, add an NPC to the wizard tower that can change you back to the standard spellbook.
That's. I was thinking about that earlier.
He's quite out of the way.
Wizard Tower.
Wizard
Yeah, it's
Tower.
not very convenient.
Yeah.
No.
The Wizard's Tower makes sense to have it there because that's where all the
it's
It's got a fairy ring, ain't it?
Yes. But I would still think Magic Guilds.
That makes sense as well.
Yes,
Yep.
indeed, yeah. It's not
Yeah.
a good thing to do for Magic Guild.
Yep.
Or
Yeah.
both.
Other
There's
saying
no reason we can't
construction
do both.
update.
Yeah.
This
Well,
would be
we have
something you would get with the construction update, right?
Yeah, if we ever actually get around to it.
I would like that.
Okay. So overall, I like the idea. It's a good idea.
Yeah. Although the construction thing means it's a skill update as well as a skill benefit, as well as just having the thing not in the desert or up the Lunar Isle.
Right.
Would you be
That's just
interested in expanding the amount of new wall kits we can have with the construction update, or is that not part of it?
It wasn't something we were looking at the same time, but on that topic, the deal at the moment is that when construction was set out back in 2006, they left space for a total of 8 wall kits. Now, they launched 6 at the time. We've added another one last Halloween, the Deathly House wall kit, which looks lovely. That leaves us 1 slot that we haven't used yet. But even if we use it, with a fair bit of reprogramming, but not an unacceptable amount, we could have another 4 slots beyond that and keep going more and more and more and more if we feel like it. I think we found that it takes quite a few models to make a POH wall kit, like 20 or something. There was a lot of variance around the stained glass windows.
There were, wasn't there? Yeah, I think it was mainly the windows that did it, just
Yeah.
because we have to fit each of those individual windows into the new kit. So yeah, it wasn't too time consuming, because it's not as if we have to build them from scratch. It's just kind of cutting one out of one wall and sticking it in the new.
Yeah, so yeah, we can do more, though it's not something we were pitching at the time, but it's maybe something we might use as extra unlocks with other content. In fact, construction is one place I wouldn't want to stick it, because it's a lot more fun to have it unlocked by other things you might do in the course of the game. Maybe you get one that looks, well, Monkey Madness could have an extra one made out of like monkey hide or something.
Or bamboo.
Or that would be less disgusting, yes.
Indeed, yeah.
I think if you had something like that was from Monkey Madness, it'd definitely be a lot more unique compared to the other wall kits, and it would add a new colour palette that you wouldn't normally see in a player-owned house.
True that.
True that.
Have you purposefully untied your
I have,
shoe?
yeah. Somebody's spamming it all the way through the first half, so I'm like, sod you, I'm going to undo my shoelaces. I did.
I thought you had.
Yeah.
All right.
What other advice would you like to give him? And see what he does the opposite of. No.
Yeah. We have 1 suggestion left and a handful of questions if we can try to quick fire through those. But
This never works well.
quick suggestion, we'll get there. It does have an image with it. There's quite a bit to this image. Deadman mode says saltwater crocodiles, alternative to crocodile tasks. So they're still crocodiles, just a different type. Quite high level though. Combat level 103. Sorry. Max hit 15, drops Crocodile Hide and Super Tar, which can be used to make Irit, Avanto, Lantadine, Dwarf Tar, which can be used with red and black salamanders. These tars will make the salamanders shoot 1 tick faster. Unlock 100 Slayer points from the Dirdel and 30% Shazian favor. So, quite a bit to that image.
I like its
Cool.
detail.
Yeah. Yes.
Would I be right in thinking that's a new kind of crocodile rather than doing anything with the one that we've already got that's useless?
It just counts as
Unless they're kind of
another
mutated
one of
old
those layer
crocodiles.
Saltwater crocodiles are the biggest variety of crocodiles, I believe, so
Yeah.
they would be larger.
What I'm getting at is we currently have crocodiles down the desert, and they are an unpleasant slayer task. Adding bigger ones is entirely possible, but it would have been very nice to do something to the existing ones. Maybe if you could use salt on them, they could become a saltwater crocodile.
I think as long as we don't let them wander off into the water. So if I'm meleeing them and I have to wait for them to come to me,
Yes.
they're so annoying.
Do we
You
just
should
want-
assault the crocodiles.
Wow, Matt, that's your line. Come
I
on.
did that.
It should be marketing, mate.
Should we just
Whoa.
poll removing crocodiles as a Slayer task?
Yes.
Yeah, replace crocodiles with these things.
I agree.
No, nothing new.
Okay.
Just remove them from the list. They're no longer a thing, and just sweep them under the carpet.
Destroy all crocodiles.
Or do an update that gives players another block slot so they can get rid of their own crocodiles.
Crocodile only.
Okay. Suggestions out of the way. I think we have 6 questions left. Try to get through those. 4 minutes left. We can do it. Lazy says, "Can Neves? You must focus on your Slayer task message. Be less intrusive. It can be annoying when trying to pick up your cannon at Cal fights or trying to jump over the route at Greater Demons, for example."
We could change it to a game mez rather than a mez box.
I think it's both at the moment, so yeah, we can just remove the pop-up bit of it.
She just kind of yell at you.
Yep. She's got that personality.
To be fair to us, I want to yell at you if 500 people every day were trying to do something wrong. It would really annoy me.
She's got a very loud voice.
All right. Strauss says, "Instead of making the leprechauns and farmers stationary, can you give them a small walk radius? Now it feels like they're statues."
I could, and I'm an advocate of NPCs' rights to move, but the time has come. They've had their chances to stand in the right place, and
Yeah. So originally,
they've abused their right to walk. So we're offering you the chance to decide to take it away. It's one of the most important votes you'll ever make.
should leprechauns and farmers be allowed to walk? One in the chat. There's no other option.
If
Just
they
one.
can't walk, we should hobble them. We should have the models with broken ankles.
Wow.
Or give them all chairs.
Okay. Waifu says, "Can you make the rune pouch available through the Mage training arena as an alternative to the bounty hunter reward shop?"
Rather not.
We kind of like having unique rewards from different places so
It's-
that it gives you a reason to go to them.
It's a big draw to the bounty hunter reward shop, and probably one of the only reasons emblems get traded. So yeah, rather not.
For what it's worth, we already have a model of a leprechaun sitting in a chair from the My Arm's Big Adventure project, so if we wanted to have all the leprechauns sit down, it'd be relatively easy.
We've got a straw poll coming in. I think Kiefer's just
Ha, ha,
consumed our chat with the straw poll. Do you want them to remove crocodiles from the Slayer task list?
Seems so.
84% yes. I would be voting yes if
We'll
I
put it on
could.
the next
Oh wait, they're both yes. Very good. I just noticed that. I still agree.
Not as good an uptake as the previous one.
Both options are yes. That's good. All right. Read it says, "Will you be pulling the Flax to Bowstring spell anytime soon?"
Unlikely.
Unlikely. Ooh. No reasons?
It's just not going to get used.
All right. Fair.
Low impact, high cost.
If they think they've got a use for the spell that thinks it's a tinderbox, they might have a use for the spell that thinks it's a spinning wheel, especially if there was more walking involved in those.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's not something that I'm seeing as a huge thing to prioritise.
That was a cool idea.
It is a cool idea, but it's just not very useful.
That's fair. Maida says, "Will we see higher level prayers anytime in the near future?"
Yes.
Near
Yes, that's
future.
true, yeah.
That's pretty. That's near. I mean.
TM.
Yeah.
Nearer
we
than,
have
I mean,
them?
to be fair, London's nearer to us than Paris, but it's still very far away. Wouldn't walk there in a day.
Do we have any thoughts about what these would be?
Yeah,
Yes.
the range in Rigor and Augury, right?
Yes.
Well, what other options are there?
Yes.
Yes.
Well, the players would like to suggest more, then there can be more options.
absolutely,
Although
yeah.
the suggestions we've had sent in about skilling prayers, which you pray and it makes you better at woodcutting while your prayer's active. The trouble with that is there's always altars near training spots which would make really quite a difference. Like Sears Village U's, you're just going to have a massive benefit there forever because there's an altar right in it.
Right.
I'll go into a little bit of detail. I'm planning on offering some form of new prayers, which will likely include Augury and Rigor, with raids, and to unlock them, there are a tradable prayer scroll that you get as a reward and can trade and sell and stuff.
Tradable.
I don't want to go into too much more detail because I'm still hammering out the design, and without all of the info, I don't want people sort of panicking, going, "Oh no, we don't want this." So look out for the dev blog throughout the summer.
That's exciting. All right. Last question for today's stream. Short Dude asks, "Hard or elite Kandrin Diary reward to make mithril dragons drop noted mithril bars?"
That's come up before.
Yep.
Yeah, so that's a lot of mithril bars.
Is it a Fremnik area? Or is it a Kandrin area?
It's Kandarin, I guess.
Okay.
If we treat them like Aviancies, it's not a guarantee from every one, is it? Do they guarantee every single one?
Aviancy, yeah, in the Wilderness God Wars Dungeon they do. In the Standard God Wars Dungeon they do not.
Right. So what if we only made it like 1 or 2, and even put that at a percentage chance?
We could do, but
The thing about the Aviancies is they didn't have a 100% chance of dropping the bars every time.
Right.
Whereas I think the Mithril Dragons drop the bars left, right and centre.
yeah, every kill, 5 bars every kill.
Yeah, that could end up being quite a few bars coming in. Although if you're killing those things, you've earned something.
Yeah, Mithril Dragons aren't too terribly profitable, are they?
I was very surprised when people wanted more of the Miscellanea tasks.
I think that's more just convenience because you have to gear up, get down there, and you've killed 3 in 10 minutes.
It's the chance of the Dragon Fullhelm, isn't it?
1 in 32,768.
It's good.
It's the one thing I've hunted and never actually managed to get. It still bugs me. Especially when someone I know got it on like their 7th kill ever and didn't even know where it was.
Alright. A little salt to end the stream.
No, there's lots of salt.
Okay, guys. We do appreciate you tuning in today. Give the stream a follow if you enjoyed. And I think we're going to go ahead and host somebody doing Deadman, hopefully. So stay watching, I guess.
Absolutely.
Cool. Thanks for watching. See you.
Bye-bye.
Yeah,
Bye.